This video is going to be a little different than what I normally do. This isn't going to be a hair video or a makeup video. Like, I just really want to take the time and talk to you guys and, just share my story and talk about something that I, deal with personally and mentally. And, I know there's a bunch of people that also deal with the same thing and go through the same thing. So I just really feel compelled today to just kind of talk and share my story. And, hopefully this helps somebody. Hopefully this gives somebody else some insight or, whatever the case may be. But that's just what I want to do today with this video. So I hope you guys stick around and watch this. So if you watched my sage session video from a few months ago, you know that sometimes, I like to talk about like things other than hair and makeup, like real world issues, things that people actually go through or whatever. And with sage sessions, I had a group of friends that I was doing it with. Well, the group of friends that I just really felt comfortable talking about those kind of things with, a few of them actually moved away, and so that's why we haven't done another video. So here I am on my own, but it's cool because this is something that I'm going through personally. So it's better that I talk about it, by myself than amongst a group of friends or whatever. So basically, what I want to talk about is anxiety and anxiety disorders, panic attacks, etc., etc. So I struggle with anxiety. I think the first time I had a panic attack was my senior year of high school. And I remember being in the car with my mom on the highway. I remember it like it was yesterday. And all of a sudden, I just got this pins and needles feeling in my body, like in my arms and my hands. And I didn't know what was happening to me. And I was just like I didn't say anything at first, and then I told her, and I remember we pulled over on, we got off the highway and pulled over on the side, and I was, describing the feelings that I was having, and for me, it was scary because I had never felt that before, and so I didn't really know what was happening to me, and I'm like, am I dying? Like, I'm too young to die? Like, am I having a heart attack? Like, I have no idea, and for someone young to experience that kind of feeling, it's a scary feeling. And so, anyways, I guess after my mom talking to me, she kind of put two and two together and realized I was just, having an anxiety attack, panic attack. And so my dad actually dealt with panic attacks around my age as well. And I remember we called him and he was like, yep, that's probably what it is. And so, we just kind of talked to him, and then we called my grandmother, my dad's mom, and she just kind of talked to me and, helped me get through it. And I just remember like walking up and down like the side of the street just to kind of calm myself down, and then eventually it went away. So that was the first time I experienced a panic attack or, anxiety attack or whatever you want to call it. Well, rewind back to high school. So I remember her asking me, my mom asking me, like, are you stressed about anything? Are you worried about anything? And I think, consciously I was like, no. But I guess subconsciously it was just, graduating high school and going to college and, things that were like major changes. I'm so sorry if I get emotional, y'all, because this is really real for me. But I guess it was just, big changes that were happening in my life. And I guess subconsciously, like I was just trying to process everything. And then my body just, like I put my body in, panic mode. And so that was that. Time passed by, I wasn't really having them too often. In college, they would kind of come and go. I think in college, they didn't really start to appear again until like my junior and senior year. I think my junior year, there was one time where I had a panic attack, and it was to the point where I literally sat in my car to drive myself to the hospital because I was like, I'm dying. Like, this is not, there's no way that this feeling can just be a panic attack. I have to be dying. And, I just, before I put the keys in the ignition, I was like, Janice, just calm down, just talk to yourself for a minute, because I really hate, and this is sad that I felt this way, but I was like, I really don't want to go to the ER, to the hospital, and tell them all what I'm feeling, for them to just say, oh, you're just having a panic attack, and then I feel stupid. So, basically what happened with that, I talked myself out of it. I ended up going back in the house, taking the shower, and just going to bed, and it was gone. So that was around 2014, maybe, when that one happened. And the way they feel, I know everybody's is different. Everybody's body responds differently, reacts differently, but the way that mine feel are, sometimes I have, the pins and needles feeling that I described that happened to me back in high school. Sometimes I don't have that. Sometimes it's just like a sudden, like, jolt of, like, fear and, like, panic and, like, oh my gosh, something's about to happen to me. Or my heart starts racing and I'm like, am I having a heart attack? Am I having a stroke? Like, what's happening? And I've learned over time that if you don't drop dead in the first 5 seconds or 2 minutes, or you're more than like, please take this with a grain of salt, but for me, and knowing that I deal with anxiety and panic attacks, I know that if I don't drop dead in the first 5 seconds, I'm having a panic attack. That's all it is. And I've just kind of learned to, talk myself through it and coach myself through it and know that I'm okay. I'm not dying. Fast forward to now, I think now my panic attacks are pretty serious now. They've gotten a lot worse over the years. Now they pretty much happen every day, and it really sucks because my panic attacks can be, like, debilitating. Like, sometimes they make me not want to go out or not want to hang out, not want to drive anywhere, because I've learned that majority of them come on, like, when I drive, when I get behind the car. I don't know, I guess I just have, like, a fear of, getting into a bad car accident or something happening to me, when I drive. But that's where they start. And the thing with panic attacks is, once you have one, they kind of just keep going, because they're already in your mind and they're already there. It's like, if something happens, oh, am I going to have a panic attack? So because you're already thinking about it, it makes you more prone to have more frequent panic attacks. And so I'd say for the past year, they've just been kind of every day. And it's really, like, it's hard because sometimes it makes me antisocial. Sometimes I'm just like, like, I don't want to do this because I don't like being around people and large crowds. Like, what if somebody throws a bomb in the crowd? Or what if somebody, does this? And it's just like, I hate it because I don't want to live my life that way. But at the same time, it's such a, I think a lot of times people kind of downplay when someone says, oh, I have anxiety. They're like, oh, you're just nervous or something like that. But it's actually a mental disorder. And I don't think there's a lot of awareness being raised on the fact that when somebody says they deal with anxiety or they deal with panic attacks, they actually have a mental disorder. And it's hard because that's so strong and it's so powerful. And it's like, you want to say, you know what, I'm not going to deal with this when it happens, but it literally takes over your entire body and it makes you shut down. And I just feel like we as people, like, maybe you don't suffer from anxiety or panic attacks, but if you have a friend that suffers from that, I just say, don't be dismissive, don't downplay the situation, because I know how I feel sometimes when I talk to other people about, me having anxiety and panic attacks, and I can just kind of see it in their eyes. They're just like, oh, whatever. But it's real, and a lot of times when people have panic attacks, they feel like they're dying, and you have to imagine, like, how scary of a feeling that can be. Another thing is, I'm sorry if I'm rambling. Like, I don't even know where I want to go with this. I just kind of feel like, I wanted to speak up about it because I know there's a bunch of people that deal with the same thing that I do. And so, yeah, forgive me if I ramble, but hopefully somebody gets something out of this. It's on my, personal anxiety journey. I kind of self-diagnosed myself. One, because, I started to realize, okay, I'm not actually dying. I'm not actually having a heart attack. I started doing research, and anxiety came up or whatever, and I was like, okay, that has to be what it is. And then again, like I said, my dad actually suffered from really bad panic attacks around my age, and my mom did too, and sometimes they can be hereditary. So I self-diagnosed myself. I never really went to a doctor and told the doctor, what was happening to me, and they told me that I was having that. I self-diagnosed myself. One reason being is because last year I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the doctor and talk to them about this, and I did, and immediately they were like, well, we have this medication and we have that medication and blah blah blah, and I'm not a big medication person. We don't have to go deep into that, but I don't believe in taking, all these manufactured pills and things like that. I just don't. And I don't like that when I go to the doctor, they're so quick to put me on prescriptions, because that's just, for me, I'm a person that wants to know what's the deeper issue, what's really happening. Like, why do I really feel this way? And taking a pill is not getting to the root of the issue. If I take a pill, I'm going to be taking that pill for the rest of my life, more than likely, because I'm going to start to become dependent on it. I'm going to feel like, oh, I'm anxious, let me go pop a pill. No, that's not it. You have to get to the root of the issue and really understand why you're feeling this way, and, try to coach yourself out of it naturally. So yeah, that's one reason why I don't like to go to the doctor. I just kind of refused. The one time last year I went and they were like, well, we have this pill, but the side effects are not really that bad. And I just, no. And so, with a lot of things, I feel like it's bad for me, because I really don't like to go to the doctor about anything for that reason, because I feel like they're just so quick to put you on something instead of addressing the real issue at hand. And with anxiety for me, I feel like maybe over the last few months, I've been kind of dealing with it a little better, because I know what it is now. And so as soon as it happens, I just, I go into my mind and I say, okay, this is an anxiety attack. Talk yourself through it. Breathe through it. Distract yourself. Do something else. And while it hasn't stopped the panic attacks from happening, it has helped. And the panic attacks that I have been feeling lately are a little bit more short-lived, and they don't last as long as they usually do. Another thing I found helpful with dealing with anxiety is when something happens, you have to go talk to somebody. Call somebody on the phone. You need a distraction, because if you sit there and if you think about it, you allow your mind to manifest on it, you're going to be on the floor, balled up, crying. Like, God, please help me. Like, what? Am I dying? Like, and you can't do that. You can't give it to the power to take over your entire body. So even if you're having an anxiety attack at 2 o'clock in the morning, call everybody in your call log until somebody picks up, because you need that. You need to talk to somebody about something completely unrelated to your anxiety attack or your panic attack. I remember one time I was at home and I was having one late at night, and I went and knocked on my best friend's room, and I was like, bro, you have to talk to me. Help me, because I'm tripping right now and I just need somebody to talk to me. I remember one time this maybe 3 years ago, I was at my mom's salon, and it was late at night, and I think, now that I think back on the situation, I understood what happened. So it was late at night. She was working, a lot later than normal. It was dark outside, and she worked in a barbershop / salon, but we were the only women there, just me, her, and the client. And I remember this guy walked in late at night. He just walked in and sat down. And I think in my mind, my body went into panic mode, because I didn't know if he was there to, harm us or rob us or anything like that. And I almost passed out. Like, the fear took over my body so much that I was like, I remember feeling dizzy, and I just couldn't shake the feeling. And I remember she called, 911, the ambulance came, and I just remember crying. Like, that was the worst feeling ever. And I really want people to know that if you're going through that, you're not alone. Like, there's so many of us that go through that same thing. And a lot of times it makes me upset, because I look at people, my friends or whoever, that don't have to go through that. And I'm just like, why do I have to go through that? And I don't know, like, it really pisses me off, because it's not something I would wish on my worst enemy. Like I said, the feeling of having a panic attack sometimes literally feels like your body is like you're dying. Something's happening to you. And I guess it's because, they say when you have panic attacks, your body initiates like a fight or flight response. And it's like your body's fighting to survive. So maybe that's why it feels so intense, but it feels bad. And I don't know. Like I said, I don't even know the purpose of this video. I'm sorry if I was rambling, but I just want people out there, people dealing with it to know that you're not alone. Talk to somebody. I can't speak on everybody's situation because, while I feel like my anxiety attacks, panic attacks are really bad, I know that there's probably somebody out there that feels them 10 times worse than I do, and I can't sit and say, don't take medication, figure out how to get through it on your own, because they might actually need it. But for me, that's not me. I'd rather figure out how to fight it on my own than to sit and be popping pills and have pills sitting on my dresser. Like, that's just not me. And I'm also a person that loves to challenge myself. I love to figure out how I can beat something on my own, instead of just, giving in and taking medication or whatever. Another thing for me is I work in corporate America, 9-to-5 job, and where I work, we have meetings constantly, huge clients or whatever. I work for a huge company, and a lot of times in those meetings, people don't know it, but I'm literally having a panic attack because I'm so, anxious and so nervous, and I just have to learn to just like breathe through it and, work through it, breathe through it. It's going to be okay, because after every single one that I've had, I have not dropped down dead yet. I have not, I'm still here. I'm talking to you guys on camera, so I'm going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You're going to get through it, but you just have to address the problem, realize what it is, and just figure out your own method of how to get through it. I know I kind of briefly touched on this in the video, but a few things I've learned again to get through my panic attacks is just to distract myself, whether that's watching TV or watching something on YouTube, or looking at my phone, calling my mom, my dad, my best friend, calling somebody. Breathing. There's a bunch of breathing techniques that you can do to calm yourself down when you have a panic attack. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff that you can, breathing techniques you can look up on YouTube, but just breathe through it, count while you breathe. Meditation, in which I've been slipping lately, and maybe that's why I've been having a bunch of panic attacks lately, but meditation is huge. There's an app I'll put in the description below the video. There's an app that I found on the App Store. I think it's called Simple Habit, and they just have a bunch of different meditation series, for different things, whether it's, dealing with loss or anxiety, or you need help sleeping at night, or test anxiety. There's a bunch of different meditation classes, I guess you can say, that you can find on that app. And for me, meditation has been huge. Like, I just instantly feel a sense of calm and feel a sense of relief when I meditate. So I recommend that you guys, maybe try meditation. And I also think another good way to, not let that defeat you is to just take control. I know in that situation it's hard to do that, but when you let something else win and defeat you, it will literally take over your entire body. It may be hard to fight, but if you just feel so anxious one day that you just don't want to get out of the bed and go out the house anyway. Because I'm telling you, if you let it defeat you, it will, and you can't do that. And again, I can't, stress this enough, but I want us to all, take heed to what it is, and understand that it's not just somebody saying, oh, I'm nervous about this, or, oh, I'm anxious about this. It's a mental disorder. It really is. And I just want us to all be aware. I feel like, I've been seeing lately, with Ariana Grande, and I know Jessie J talks about it. They kind of bring awareness to it. And I just want more people to do that, because it sucks, and sometimes it really can hinder you from living your life, and you only get one life, so you can't let something like that, stop you from living your life and going out and interacting with your friends and, just basically living your best life. You can't do that. So, I just really wish everybody the best with it. If you have any questions, I'm sorry. It's just, it's been really hard for me to deal with. And also because I'm really a person that doesn't like to talk. When things happen to me, like I kind of, hold it in and stay quiet, or I'll like be a recluse and like, retreat from everybody. But when you deal with anxiety and panic attacks, you cannot do that. You can't do that because you'll make them worse. You have to open up and you have to talk. And that's something I'm challenging myself with doing this year. I actually have it, as a task to go and actually see a therapist, go and talk to somebody, maybe there's a deeper reason why you're feeling this way, or having these panic attacks, anxiety attacks. Talk to somebody. Another thing, I also challenge people to just be nicer to people. I see on Instagram, like, I'm not big on really, commenting on celebrities' pictures and leaving comments or whatever, just because it's just not that deep to me. Like, I don't even read the comments either. I might see a comment pop up, or maybe somebody, I'm following leaves a comment, but I don't really click on their picture and scroll through their comments and all that, just because, like, number one, there's some mean and hateful things that people say under celebrities' pictures. And I'm just like, how could you do that? Like, how could you find it in your heart to say something that mean and that evil to another human being? I don't care how much money they have, what level you think they're on, or how invincible you think they are. They're not. We're all humans. We are all literally the same type of being on this planet. And you have feelings. So you have to know that that person that you're leaving the comment under has feelings too. And it's just like, on top of people, leaving these nasty, mean, and hurtful comments, you don't know what they're dealing with on the inside. You don't know if they suffer from anxiety, if they're depressed, if they have panic attacks, and you never know. Your comment may trigger them to go take a pill, and that pill could be just the cause them to overdose, So it's just like, I just really challenge people to be nicer. Like, I don't understand why we have to be so mean to each other. Like, for what? Like, what joy do you get out of that? Because I know it doesn't make you feel better. It has to make you feel worse. Maybe it makes you feel better. I don't know. But my point in saying all of that is just, let's just be nice to each other, because you never know behind closed doors. A person may seem strong, but when they're at home in their bed, in their room, you don't know what the hell they go through. So let's be nice and treat everybody, with kindness and be genuine. And yeah, so I won't continue to ramble. I just really woke up today, with a heavy heart and feeling like, I wanted to talk to you guys about that. And I know that when I first started my channel, my very first video, I talked about how I didn't want my channel to just be hair and makeup. Like, I wanted it to have a purpose. And it's sad because I've noticed, the videos or the one video, I guess. Well, I've had a few other videos like this that I've posted, but I took them down because I was kind of, self-conscious about them. But when I post stuff like this, I'm related to hair and I'm related to makeup, they don't really get as many views as my hair and makeup videos. And that's sad because mental health is a serious issue. Like, it's serious. And it's like, we should talk about it more and, educate ourselves more on it. But we don't. All we care about is how we look and how our hair is. And that's sad to me. So I really hope you guys watch this video and get something out of it. If you want to send me a message, email me. My email is in the description below. Leave a comment, anything like that. If you saw a clip of this video on Instagram, you want to DM me, please DM me, because I genuinely, like, I'm getting to that age where I just feel like I have to have a purpose, and I may not be a celebrity. I may not be, a big shot with money, but if I can help someone, maybe just get through something that some of the same things that I'm dealing with, then I feel like I've served my purpose. And I just feel like, especially in our generation, like, I have to speak up and I have to do something. So, if you want to talk to me, if you need a friend, you want to text me, you're having a panic attack late at night, want to text me about it, text me. Like, send me a message. I'm so sorry I'm crying, but and I'm also getting over a cold, so I'm like super congested. But I just understand, and it sucks, and I hope, you know, one day I get over them and I never have them ever again in my life. But for right now, I know how it feels, and I know how it feels to feel alone when they happen, and so I don't want anybody to feel it the same way. So if you need, you know, a friend or whatever, just send me a message, please, because I just really want to help people get through it, and maybe in me helping somebody else get through it, it'll help, you know, me get over mine and me conquer mine. So yeah, sorry I'm super emotional. I am such a teddy bear. Y'all will see that. I'm very tough, very hard on the outside, but on the inside, I literally cry at the drop of a dime. And also know that crying does not mean you're weak. Like, it's okay to cry. It doesn't mean you're, you know, a chump or a punk, or, you know, it's okay. Like, that's a normal emotion. I feel like our generation is so afraid to feel emotions and to be looked at as weak, and so we don't, and in turn we bottle everything up inside, and then we explode later on down the line. But you can't do that. You have to deal with things as they happen. You can't bottle things up and just keep your feelings confined. Like, we all have feelings, we all have emotions, and if you don't, then something's wrong with you. You're not human, basically. So yeah, sorry that I'm crying. I'm sorry also that I haven't been posting videos as much. Like I said, I work in corporate America. I work in 9 to 5, and sometimes, like, it's just I don't have the time always to just sit and record it. When I do have the time, I just want to chill and do nothing. Like, do nothing. Enjoy your own company and just chill. Like, it's okay to just chill sometimes. You don't have to constantly be in the mix, constantly on the go, constantly doing this, constantly doing that. Like, just sit back, chill, give your body a second to recharge and re-energize. I don't even know why I'm talking about that. I'm rambling, but oh, I know that I was saying that I'm sorry for not posting videos as much, but I'm gonna try to start posting once a week again, on the weekends maybe. So I've noticed you guys watch quicker on the weekends than you do during the week. But yeah, so enjoy. I don't want to make this video super, super long. I know you don't want to watch a movie, but please share this with, you know, somebody you know that's dealing with anxiety, whether it's parent, friend, family member, whoever. Like, just share this video and just do your own research, you know, because you never know how being, you know, knowledgeable about the situation could help somebody else that you encounter, or just whatever. And just make sure that we love each other and be nice to each other all the time, because you just never know what people are going through. So I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I really, really, really do. Make sure you comment, subscribe, please, to my channel if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. And yeah, until next time. Peace.